It started with a bad day, but for her, every day felt like that. She woke up late, spilled her coffee, and missed the bus to work. When she finally arrived, she faced complaints from her boss and distant looks from her coworkers. It felt like the world was against her. She'd often wonder, why does this always happen to me? Her life was a cycle of negativity. Every mistake felt like a disaster, every setback like proof that she wasn't good enough. The more she focused on what was wrong, the worse it seemed to get. Even at home, the little things annoyed her. A misplaced book, an unwashed plate, or a comment from a family member. Her mind was filled with frustration and resentment. One evening, after a particularly rough day, she sat on her bed scrolling through her phone. A video caught her attention. It was about a man who had lost everything but found happiness by practicing gratitude. She almost scrolled past it, but something made her pause. She clicked play. The man spoke about how he started writing 3 things he was thankful for each day. At first, it sounded silly to her. How can gratitude fix anything, she thought. But his story stayed with her. That night, she decided to give it a try. She grabbed an old notebook, sat down, and stared at the blank page. What was there to be thankful for? Her day had been a mess. But after a while, she wrote, 1. I woke up. 2. I had food to eat. 3. I have a roof over my head. It felt awkward, but it was a start. The next day she did it again. And the day after that. Slowly, she began noticing small things she'd taken for granted. The warmth of the sun on her face, a kind word from a colleague, the way her favorite song made her feel. Each evening her list grew longer. Something began to shift inside her. She started looking for the good in her days instead of the bad. At work, instead of focusing on her boss's criticism, she appreciated the effort her team put into a project. She thanked a coworker for their help, and to her surprise, they smiled and thanked her back. The more she expressed gratitude, the more positivity she seemed to attract. Her relationships at home improved too. She began acknowledging the little things her family did for her, like making her a cup of tea or saving her a seat at dinner. Their smiles became warmer, their conversations deeper. She realized how much she'd been missing by being caught up in negativity. Months later, she looked back and hardly recognized the person she used to be. Her days weren't perfect, but she faced challenges with a new mindset. When things went wrong, she reminded herself of what was still right. Gratitude had become her anchor. One day, her boss announced a new project and asked for volunteers. In the past, she would have stayed quiet, afraid of failing or being judged. But this time, she raised her hand. She worked hard, stayed positive, and even when things didn't go as planned, she focused on learning and improving. Her boss noticed her effort and praised her in a team meeting. That praise turned into a promotion a few months later. Her journey inspired others. At work, she started a gratitude board where employees could post things they were thankful for. It became a hit, and soon her office's culture began to change. At home, she encouraged her family to share one good thing about their day during dinner. The simple practice brought them closer together. Years later, she shared her story at a community event. She told them how gratitude had transformed her life, how it had helped her see the beauty in the little things and find strength during tough times. She reminded them that gratitude isn't about ignoring problems but about shifting focus to what's good amidst the bad. The audience's applause was heartfelt, but the real reward was seeing their eyes light up with hope. Gratitude didn't just change her life, it became a ripple that touched everyone around her. From a woman trapped in negativity to someone who uplifted others, her story showed that a simple shift in perspective can lead to profound transformation.